I cannot believe that I'm recording this video. I did not like myself this much because that is one of the most challenging and the worst difficult life phase ever. It's because to protect your own mental peace and to protect your peace of your life. Good evening everyone, welcome to another brand new episode of my YouTube video. So today let us speak about 13 total steps to achieving your total self-love. I cannot believe that I'm recording this video because I was totally insecure about my entire self since childhood. But then I have reached to a stage that I love myself now. Welcome to another brand new episode of me connecting with you and ranting about different set of topics. So I did not like myself this much. I never liked the way that I looked. I never loved the way that I used to speak. I never loved the entire way that I used to be. My entire self, I was not too comfortable with myself, as what I can say. So it took me quite some time to realize and embrace myself. I was actually bullied, body shamed, told that I'm not good enough and I am not worthy of living on this world entirely, and that is where I shattered my entire self. Anyways, now diving back into the topic, so let us discuss of 7 steps to achieving your total self. The number one point is stop comparing yourself to other people. The more you start comparing yourself to other people is when your self-esteem, your self-worth, your entire self goes down, and that is where you lose your confidence. That is where the spark in you that loses, and people can see that, and people start validating you, and they can know that you are expecting some worst advices from them. People who wish good for you will definitely pass on good compliments and give you good suggestions as to where you're supposed to improve. The more you start comparing yourself is when you start losing much more of yourself. You start focusing on others more, and you start focusing on them rather than focusing on yourself and where you're supposed to improve in life, or the key areas that you're willing to improve yourself. Now the more you start doing this is where you put yourself in that uncomfortable shell and you do not wish to come out, because the more you try to succumb yourself there is when you try to bring yourself into that decision where you're never going to be okay with yourself in life. But what I personally feel is that it's definitely not too late to realize that comparison will definitely kill you internally as well as externally. Trust me, I again repeat this, because the more people who wish good for you is when they start giving you wonderful advices. Now the second step is please do not worry about other people's opinions and the impact that will be on you. You do know what you are. Trust me with that. You do know what you are. You know what you're going through. You know how you're dealing with it. You know how you're supposed to be. You know how you're supposed to talk. You know how you're supposed to react. You know how you're supposed to live your life. You know how you are supposed to give your best. And you know how you are supposed to be the number one confident person, and you know how you're supposed to smile, you know how you're supposed to represent yourself. I have told you 10 different points. Do not let other people tell you how you are supposed to be, and do not let other people tell you that otherwise, if you be a certain way, people will start liking you. If you be a certain way, people will start getting attracted to you. If you be a certain way, people will start giving you the amount of love that is according to them, of course, obviously, because people do not realize and understand the fact that it's very rare and difficult to find people who are authentic and people who are way too realistic and pure people with good intentions and good heart. Now do not let all those opinions affect you. As you start walking towards them, you develop a habit of negative self-talk. The more you start attracting to them, the more you get attracted to negative thoughts and negativity as well. Now let us talk about how you can distance yourself from them. As much as I feel, as much as I can tell you that it's not very easy to distance yourself from them, but try to step away from them as much as possible. Now, I personally feel that if you work at the same place or if you are studying in the same college or school, it's definitely not easier to distance yourself apart from them. Just let them know that you are not comfortable hearing those words and you would like to hear something which is good. And just in case if they cross the boundary that you have placed, you have to cut them then and there. Because I've been through this shit many times in my life where I was told how am I supposed to walk, how am I supposed to talk, how am I supposed to listen to people, how am I supposed to represent my entire body. The audacity that the opposite person or the third person telling you this is way too much. Just let that person know that, stop them then and there and let them know that what they are telling is wrong and try to correct them just in case if they are listening, or just leave them then and there and you're good to go. You are definitely good to go because you cannot change them. They will never change themselves either. Now this is the second point. Now let us dive into the third one. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Now the more you allow yourself to make mistakes is when you start your setting yourself free and you tend to learn more. The more you tend to learn, the more you tend to grasp knowledge and the more you tend to achieve a lot more things than you used to, and then you think that you might achieve. The fourth one is your value does not lie in how your body looks. Trust me, I will be repeating this once again and again. My entire content, I will definitely repeat the same thing over and over again because my content is definitely based on breaking stereotypes and stating out facts and stating out reality. Your value does not lie in how your body looks, how you look, how you talk, how you represent yourself. Trust me, the more people body shame you, it is a projection of themselves but not you. It's not your fault, it's not what you deserve, it's not what you are supposed to listen to. Be comfortable with who you are. Be comfortable in your own beautiful skin. Be comfortable in the way you look. Be comfortable in the way you talk. Be comfortable in the way you represent yourself. In time, do not let the opposite person tell what you are and how you're supposed to live your life. Because most of them do have this bad intention of giving the opposite person negative advices than minding their own goddamn business. So this is one of the things. And second of all is, do not compare your body to somebody else's body. Do not compare your skin color to somebody else's skin color. Trust me, I'll say this even though I am fair. The people who have dark skin, people who have brown skin are way too beautiful and are more charming, if I can say. I love that color. I hate it when people go like, you don't look good in this brown color, you don't look good in this black color, you are very black, you have come from a certain place, you are not supposed to belong here, you do not have the right to stay here. Dude, they are living their life, they are minding their own business, they are working, they are earning their own bread. Why are you so interested in that opposite person's life? I don't understand why are you so interested in the opposite person's life rather than minding your own goddamn business. It is a very, very, very important one. Do not get afraid to let go of toxic people. The more you allow yourself to let those people come into your life, the more you are allowing the negativity to come into your life. You are spoiling your own life by your self-love. The more you start doing that is when the more you start ruining your life by yourself. You don't realize that now, but sooner or later, you definitely do that. But one of the most important things that you have to realize is when you start talking to people, you get to know what they are and how they are. And at the same point of time, you understand what the opposite person is willing to let you know and what the opposite person actually means. You can understand, the more you talk to them as the days pass on, you can understand that whether that person is letting you know in a positive way or a negative way, you will get to know that as you start talking to them on a daily basis. You can never know that in a stranger, but when you talk to a person who you are in touch with every single day, you will realize that sooner or later that person is not good for you or your mental health, but rather they drain your energy to such an extent where they can know that you take things to heart and you get depressed as much as you can. And it takes months, days, seconds, hours, years, weeks, weekends to get over that and being back to your normal self. Sixth one is allow yourself to process your fears. I will be saying this again and again. Allow yourself to process your fears, because the more you start allowing yourself to process your fears, you get the time to give yourself a lot more chances than you think. The more you run away from fear, the more it starts attracting to you. The more you start running away from all those fears of facing from the challenges, the more it'll start coming over and it'll start knocking on you saying that, hey, I have not completed this task. I'll complete this and then I'll go to the next one. But do not let that happen to you, because that is one of the most challenging and the worst difficult life phase ever. So don't let it do that to you. Process your fears. Take your time to process that feeling. Take your time to process that emotion. Take your time to get over that feeling. Take your time to understand what you're going through. Take your time to understand what is making you feel in a negative way. Take your time to know for a fact that you are not the bad person, just in case if you have been treated bad. It's just a projection of their own reality, and they will never change in life. And don't ever try to fix them, please. No matter what you do, no matter whatever you try to accomplish in trying to fix them, you cannot. If you open the gap and if you wish to close it, and if the nib of the pen is right, it gets closed by itself. If the nib of the pen isn't right, it doesn't get closed. So you have to understand the logic inside this. The more you try to fix them, the more they'll come back into their old self, and you will have to keep on doing the same thing, and the cycle repeats, and the chain is never ending. So just know that they will not change, and you are the one who is supposed to walk away, not because you are scared of them, it's because to protect your own mental peace and to protect your peace of your life. Yeah. With that, we have come to an end with the last point. Last but not the least is trust yourself to make good decisions, and trust yourself and make good decisions. Just because the last one is a failure, that doesn't mean the next one will be a failure as well. You just have to understand and know that what did not go right in the last decision that you have taken, and the decision that you will be taking now, and what are the steps or what are various things that you're trying to accomplish, and what are the things that you're supposed to involve a lot more. Now, when I say that trust yourself to make good decisions, understand what you're good at, understand where you're supposed to improve yourself on, focus on your self-care more rather than focusing on toxic people, focusing on toxic habits, focusing on depending on other people and trying to seek validation from them. Because people, do not get me wrong, because the more you start being insecure, or the more you start getting scared, the more you take shit from people, they will definitely know and understand that you have the ability to take this kind of negativity, and they keep putting it on you so much, and the load becomes heavier, and it just becomes impossible to bear the entire load, and it bursts off one day. It definitely will burst off one day. So instead of bursting off the one day, why don't you burst in the beginning and just let those people know that this is not the way how you're supposed to be treated. This is not the way how you're supposed to be allowed to be treated. Trust yourself a little more every single time. This is what I'd like to say. Trust yourself a little more. Give yourself the number of chances that you would like to give yourself, instead of giving it to the opposite person, be it your boyfriend or girlfriend. The more you start giving chances to them is when they will not realize your worth, and they remain the same way, and they will never change in life. Trust me when I say this, I have been through all these 7 phases, and I've been through all the 7 entire phases of life, and I will be coming up with the next part 2 video because I did not want to cover everything in just one topic, because I have a lot more to work on in the second part to share a lot more valuable and immense lessons with you. Until then, take care, much love and much more peace.